Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the second episode of Icarus, which originally streamed live on Twitch. How am I liking so far? It's a game with potential that needs some careful attention, I think is probably how I would put it. It has the potential to be very, very fun. It also has the potential to be a massive letdown, and I'm not sure which it is yet. Because in its current state, I will say the gameplay is very grindy, unless you build a certain way to minimize the grind. And with no persistence, it does have like a persistent mode where you can build bases and keep them, but that's not where its strong suit is. So most of the negative reviews on Steam, I will also agree with, which is that it's a game that is very redundant. It has some fundamental game mechanics that could make it be a very fun game. But it really depends on whether or not the developer tries to, develop it in such a way that it will become more fun. Because it's a developer who's a little famous on trying to make their games hard for hard's sake, without concern about whether it's entertaining or fun or not. So be warned. I'm trying to be as honest as I can. I'll put it this way. I had fun with it. I do find it to be somewhat of an enjoyable game, but if anyone's experienced, like if you are tolerant of the grind in Rust or the grind in Ark and how much time it takes to do things, this game might not be a bad choice for you. But if the time investment required for games like Ark or Rust or Valheim are prohibitive, if you're just like, oh, I don't have time to like spend multiple hours cutting down trees, then yes, this is not going to be your cup of tea. Get over here. Somehow or another, I have not suffered that festering wound yet. Game is being very kind. But I'm almost caught up to the experience loss, so I'm almost level 5, and then we'll be moving on. Let me dump some of this stuff, because I have so much extra. I have so many bones and fiber that I just don't need. Because the game isn't exactly persistent, collecting stuff doesn't really matter, because once you're done with your mission and you go up to the ship, the only things you get to keep are exotic ores, which are very rare, and I don't have any of those, and your experience that you've gained. Which is not something that you can drop. Dean Hall from DayZ. Yes, this is a Dean Hall game. But I would definitely compare it more to Stationeers than to DayZ. There we are. I've leveled up. So now, in the... Let's see. Let's get more regen. And then the detect tree over here, I'm going to get wood beams, wood floor, wood wall. And that's going to be enough to build my hut. Oh, I have one more point. Let's go with more stamina. So let's go ahead and build a little shelter. I'm going to build... I need to cut down some more trees. So I'm going to build a little 2x2 shack. And that's going to satisfy the last of the requirements for this mission. Well, another thing that you can do is you can light your torch and drop it so that you can illuminate the area. Just keep in mind that, yes, forest fires are a thing, so I am indeed trying to set a forest fire as an example of what not to do. Let me pick somewhere bushier. All right, 8. Ooh, there we go. Start my own forest fire. No one tell Smokey. And I want 8 of these. So I have 4 now. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a wolf here, too. Was a wolf. The gather rate is based upon the tools that you have, not the experience that you have, to some degree or another. There is some XP things that you can level up to have you gather faster, but more or less it's driven by the tools that you're using. Alright, I probably have enough for my little shack now. Yep, I do. And let's build my shack over here where the forest fire is not. So if you hold R, you can have different types of pieces, you know, windows or L-shaped frames or whatever. But here, I'll get creative. Have a big window. And I'll illuminate this in a second so you can see. Well, it's starting to get light out so you can actually see it. And then stick a roof on it. There we are. We have a little shelter. I put a bed down. Beds can't be too close.
That's up to you. So long as you learn the basics, your chances are the same as anyone else. And I get paid.
Okay. Beds can't be too close to the door, or they're too exposed and can't be used. And this mission's done. So the rocket ship is out this way. Oh, and my torch survived. And off we go. And you'll see that I keep nothing. You know, I keep absolutely nothing that I deployed with. I fixed that no light issue? Yeah, just set the whole forest afire. And you'll have plenty of illumination. Hey, dude. Alright, so here is the mission completion. I don't believe there was any rewards. Nope. And let's do another prospect. So, that was the Beachhead Recon, which is the starter mission. Here is the terrain scan mission.
Welcome back. Lagos unit runs Icarus for the UDA, but most of this planet's still a blank on the map. The unit wants new drop zones, which means getting terrain scans, and they'll pay for the privilege. Just set up a radar at 3 locations and come back alive. You up for it?
I'm going to reset my death counter to 0 now. I'll be a death counter per mission. Alright, terrain scans. So here is the rewards. I have 100 in credits for this prospect once complete. Hey, gentle nobody, welcome. And I will try to do my best to do these quickly so that you can start to see some of the more fun content that gets unlocked later on at slightly higher levels. I should also get myself some bone arrows. So I do have one more blueprint unlock, and we'll get bone arrows. Because they hit quite nicely. You can make a permanent base, but it's not linked to a mission, and you don't leave this planet. This planet is the only planet I can't speak for the developer.
Always going to be so empty. The UDA wants exotics, and the Lagos unit's under pressure to scale operations up. Which means they need terrain data, and a heap of it. Fast. So grab the radar from the supply crate. The unit wants
Hey, Lumine. Thank you.
3 locations on your map. You'll be heading into uncharted territory, but that's exactly why we need the data. Think you can handle it? Well, either way, it's too late now. Good luck.
So yeah, you can set yourself up an outpost, which is a permanent base, but there is no reason to do it. The game doesn't incentivize it for any reason, if that makes sense. It's just more like creative mode. You can level up doing that, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is it doesn't really matter. It's not something that you're going to find yourself doing normally. So now that I have unlocked bone arrows, I need to skin some things and collect some bone for the bone arrows. Let's also gather some fiber for a basic set of gear. Puppy treats. Don't mind if I do. There you go, buddy. You'll find it. You'll find it. So yeah, what I was saying before the cutscene interrupted me is I don't know if the developer's going to add more planets, but like the game is called Icarus and this planet is Icarus. So my guess is this is it, but they might add in some additional biomes and things like that. I don't know what's really in planned. I haven't read up on that. This time I think I want to maybe cook some fish. I want the stamina bonus from the fish more than the meat bonus. Don't leave. Come back, Nemo. Oops. Frying Nemo. Come on, Arrow. There we go. Oh, and then you have these little blue guys who are biters. Ow. Cut it out. Go away. Alrighty. Well, I've got 15 fish now. That's a lot of fish. More than I really needed, but I wasn't planning on getting attacked by a bunch of little piranha. Let's get these cooked up. And then also try to find some vegetables that might make our stamina higher. This mission, not to spoil too much, but this mission, unlike some of the other missions, is kind of like a, hey, gotcha, where it's, I would say, considerably harder than most of the other missions in the game. And it will definitely take new players by surprise, because I think this mission tries to kill you purposefully. As anyone that is experienced in this game could probably attest to. Oh, hi, Wolfie. Bye, Wolfie. Oh, I don't have a knife yet. Oops. Might want one of those first. So, corpses will attract predators if left unskinned. Just a heads up. So, let's go get a campfire going. I want to hydrate. Try to play one-handed. Doesn't work that well. I'll put the campfire here. And I don't have any wood. Whoa! God, another one. Trees keep freaking out on me. All right. I'm almost level 6. Very close. Thank you for the sub, Martinus. We're in Turkey. Turkey, do you live? I don't think I'm going to use cooked meat as one of my food sources in my stomach. I'm going to use it as a sort of a healing potion, and instead I'm going to use raw fish, or cooked fish rather, which adds to stamina regeneration instead. So that I'm trying to eat for maximum stamina. There it is, leveled up. All right. For my tech tree, I actually don't think I'm going to unlock anything. Well, suture kit. That much I know. Bone knife, bone sickle. Okay, I think those are worth it. The suture kit allows you to sew up the deep wounds, like the bear hit me with. And then the bone knife skins better than the stone knife, and the bone sickle is really good at collecting plant fibers. It's a very efficient plant fiber collector, which is going to be very useful for quickly making lots of bandages and stuff like that. It's very handy. I don't have the resources to make that right now because I need wood. So actually, let's go make the bone sickle, and I'll show you the advantage of the bone sickle. So here is the sickle. And then I need 15 more bone for the knife. So the sickle here, when I collect fiber like this, normally that was 6. That was 40 or 36. 30, 38. You know, I can collect so much faster with the sickle. Makes it worth it. Same with wheat, right? If I was collecting wheat, by hand I just got 4, and with the sickle, I got 40. I don't have any use for wheat yet, so I'm gonna put it down. Alright, I am gonna, let's see. Let's collect the supply pod and then come back to our fire later. Because, gonna keep this moving. You want me to hydrate? There it is. No, I'll hydrate for real. So now, on my back, I have the radar scanner. It consumes the slot, so I wouldn't be able to have a backpack and this thing on at the same time. And now I have 3 spots on the map to scan, so we will get that started. Let me get back to my campfire, collect my food. You can even hear my footsteps are slightly more metallic now that I'm carrying this thing around. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is speed this up because I want my third source of food. So let's roast a few corn so that I have the 3 food bonuses. Then I'll put 1 more pumpkin in the fire so I have a second pumpkin to eat when my first pumpkin wears off. And then I'll get moving. So now my bonuses is 75 stamina, 75 health, 75 stamina with extra stamina regen. Kind of nice. Alright, so now I have 2 spare charred corn. Can I use sickle on pumpkins? No. There's some things you can't use sickles on, so like food reaping won't yield the benefit, whereas like lilies would. So that's 8 lilies and 1 reap versus picking, which is 1 lily. But for like berry bushes, it actually destroys the berries and only gives you plant fiber. So it doesn't work for everything. All right, it's good enough. Let's take it. And leave the charcoal because I don't care. And we'll head to the western one first. Make sure I have a few more arrows in case I get engaged. It's very, very, very hard to make like arrows or weapons or whatever. Oh, do I have 2 stone knives? I do. Oops. It's very hard to make weapons like while you're currently fighting, or arrows, arrowheads, because, you know, it's not like you can tell the wolves or bears, hey, time out. So definitely have the equipment that you need. So here are carrots. They cook up as well. One of the advantages of carrots is the raw carrots stack up to 20 and do not rot, which is nice. So here's more carrots. And then there's other foods too. There's watermelons, which watermelons and berries can make some nice fruit salads later on. And then you have squash, and pumpkins and squash can make, you can combine them at a kitchen to make good food as well. I'll get into that once I tech up a little bit more. So let me go ahead and make my bone knife. Oh, I need 2 more bone for that. Do flowers have a purpose? They do. Every resource in this game has a purpose, some less useful than others. So like this wild gorse, you can make tea out of. As a for instance. But you need a lot of it, and tea only has a specific type of benefit. So lilies, for instance, can make heal pastes to be able to heal you quickly and instantly. But I don't have the technology to use them just yet. But every single resource in this game that you find has some sort of value, has some sort of benefit. Like yeast is used for a lot of things. Berries are used for several things. They all have different different points and purposes. So we're traveling down to the first scan point. So here's coffee beans, and soybeans. And we're obviously going to have to dip south. This mountain's kind of in our way. Jumping over my arrows there? Alright, so this will be able to give me my bone knife. And I'll show you the advantages of the bone knife over the stone one in just a second. Make sure no one else is coming. So if I go to crafting here, bone knife yields 150% yield from skinning, whereas the stone knife yields 100% from skinning. So, more bang for my buck. And here it is, the bone knife. And then my rest of my bone is going to go towards bone arrows, which are considerably stronger than the stone ones. And there's a whole bunch of other types of arrows. There's even rifles, shotguns, pistols, crossbows. There's a wide variety. There's even fragmentation grenades. So here's watermelon. Raw watermelon does carry a food risk. Eating it, you might get sick, whereas the wild berries that I've been eating do not make you sick. So be careful with the watermelon. The watermelon tooltip is like good enough to eat. Lies, so many lies. The food penalty for food that makes you sick is way worse than water. Dysentery, not a big deal. Whereas food poisoning in this game is terrible. It slows you down. It completely ruins your stamina. Makes you very vulnerable. Alright, some more bone arrows. Basically, all the bone I get from here on out, I'm just going to pour into bone arrows to increase my, my lethality. Here's my last stone arrow. Boop. And now everything from here on out will be bone. Deer killer. Kill 10 deer. Spotted me as I went right in front of it. Brilliant! More watermelon. Soybeans. As I said before, the game throws food at you, so you'll never really be hungry. You have to work to be hungry in this game. And there, as you can see, 565. My damage is way higher with the bone. Allowing me to be the bear slayer that I wanted to be originally and failed at. We'll not talk about that. Alright, let me focus on just trying to close the distance to the scan point now. Just killing whatever's in my path for experience. Oh, I still have a talent point, don't I? So this talent here is very, very quiet. That I am sneakier when I'm sneaking. I'm basically just trying to rush to the bottom of the solo tree. Oh, so here's squash. Squash is hard to find because it's just hard to just see in the forest. But squash is an important ingredient for the winter salad or whatever it's called, the winter harvest thingy, which is a very, very useful meal that you get later on. There seems to be a lack of biodiversity here. Where are all the animals for me to murder? Oh, there's a wolf. Now, wolves... Well, if I could hit it. Wolves aren't awesome at climbing mountains. So if you get attacked by several wolves, you can shimmy up a mountain, and chances are it won't be able to stalk you. Same is true of some of the other wolf-like creatures like cougars and hyenas. They don't do mountains all that well. Whereas bears don't care at all. You cannot outrun a bear by trying to go up a mountain. It won't work. They will chase you and murder you. Okay, that arrow, like, went through your head, buddy. Whatever, I'll just kill Bambi. Bye-bye, Bambi. More arrows. And repairing my tools. Let's see if I can't find a grizzly. They're a lot easier to kill than the polars. Polars are like maybe 3 times more HP than the grizzlies. Something along those lines. I don't know the exact numbers. There is a skill that you can unlock to show health bars, but I don't plan on getting that one because it's rather expensive to get to. Whoa, you almost stepped on me. Meat does spoil. Spoiled meat does have a use, but I don't have a use for it yet. Let's get a bedroll too. Come on. Where's your head? Oos. I missed. How far are you gonna run? Whatever, I'll just skin your brother over here. Now, there are some pseudo-exploits to be able to defeat creatures a little bit more easily. Like glitching them into the terrain or using... I mean, I think some of the exploits aren't really exploits, like using player-built structures to be able to avoid getting mauled to death. But, yes, there is a lot of fall damage. In fact, I would say maybe most of my deaths are fall-based deaths in this game, of just me not being as cautious as I probably should be and falling to my doom. There are some skills that lower fall damage, but yeah, I've definitely fallen to my death a lot, in an embarrassing amount. So I'll try to limit the amount that happens. So we're almost at the first scan point. It is just up this cliff here, I think. But before I scan, in case of a fatality, I'm going to build a tiny little 2x2 and slap down my bed so that I respawn here rather than back of the ship, to save myself an epically far walk. So it's actually up that cliff there. Oh, and we're going to find our first cave, which is right in here. Hey, little guy. Bye-bye. So this is... Well, I know it doesn't look like much of a cave, but you can dig into it for ores, like iron, copper, etc. I have no use for iron and copper, which is why I'm not doing it just yet. But there's probably about... Oof, my aim is bad. There's probably about like 200 caves scattered around the map. And some are big, some are small. Some have like pitfalls where you can fall to your death. A lot of them will have enemies.
You know what to do.
All right, so what I'm going to do while I build my little shack is let's get some stuff cooking. Ooh, we have a weather event too. Minor showers. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've found that that 2x2 shacks are pretty much the smallest shacks that you can get away with and still have protection from the elements. Anything smaller, like a 1x1, obviously would be considerably cheaper. It's just simply too small, and the game doesn't really register it as sufficient shelter. So 2x2 is kind of the smallest shelter you can build, which is almost the only shelters I ever build as a result. I only build larger if I need the floor space for crafting tables and the like. Ooh, and I leveled up. So here, right now, I'm at like tier 1 solo skill. For me to unlock the big 3, I need to get to tier 2 solo skill by spending somewhere else. So I'm going to spend Healthy Maverick. And now I'm at tier 2 solo, which unlocks more tech. That's how the skill tree works. I'm sure most of you are familiar with like how talent trees work and the minimum requirements. So them be the minimum requirements. I also got some blueprint points, which I'll take a look at in a minute. I just want to get this shelter up so I don't get rained on. Do I have enough now? Nope. More wood. Game name? Icarus. You use 1x1s, no problem? Oh, interesting. Well, I'm going to do a 2x2 because I have the components for them now. Plus, you get experience for just the crafting the building, and even leveled me up, so. Okay, I need some fiber. Problem. Got my trusty scythe. And I'll set up my shelter here. Now, there is a weight allowance for the shelter. So you can definitely have a shelter that weighs too much. So just be cautious about that. Where it will break if it's like over encumbered. And I'm giving myself these big bay windows because when I set up the scanner, it's going to ask me to protect it. Oh, my campfire's over here, isn't it? Oh, hi, wolf. Oh, another one. It's hard for you to catch my live streams, side games? Well, I'm glad you caught this one. Do you need to have additional support pillars for the weight? No, what you need to do is you need to just spread out the heavy things. So it's things like smelters and the like that weigh a lot, that if you put too many in your small base, it will collapse your base. You can put pillars in, but I haven't found that pillars help much at all by keeping your base from collapsing. They're more cosmetic than anything else. So I'm bringing my campfire inside, so, well, maybe not there, so that I can continue cooking. And then also, I might sleep when it becomes after 6 p.m. because there's a bonus for being well rested. Where? Oh, here's my coin. And preparing all my tools. In terms of blueprint points, let's go with... So an oxidizer allows you to oxygenate a little bit easier, but I don't find it all that necessary to get, so I skip it. Yeah, there's really nothing I want to spend my blueprint points on right now. I could do a wood repair hammer to be able to repair damaged sections of my walls and whatnot, but I'm not really expecting my shack to take damage, so I'm gonna unlock it if I need it, but ignore it until I need it. So here is the sleeping bonus. You can sleep between 6 p.m. and 7 a.m. And now I have the well rested, which is more health regen, more stamina regen, more stamina, less food and water consumption. All good things. All very good things. Speaking of water, let's eat the last of my berries for the water benefit. All right. Let's start the scan. When can you expect the next raft video? When it wins in the polls.
Looks like the unit's ready.
Alright, so now I have this scanner on. The game does warn you, but wildlife doesn't like the scanners. Oh.
Those things are not happy.
Cougar! Jaguar! Dead jaguars. Because, you know, headshot. Alright, time to skin you.
You lost power. You'll need to turn it on again.
Good experience, this. Oh, yeah. I find that, like, cutting down trees and building structures to level yourself up is a little boring, so...
Activated.
But leveling up through combat, a little bit more interesting.
We ain't done here, though. Check your map for the next location.
Alright, scan location 3 is done. Now I can head out to scan location 2 and 1. Let me go ahead and bring my cooked food. I'll wait for the last 2 pumpkin to be made. I'm also going to... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Pull the bed up so I don't have to make another one. But there's no way to undeploy a structure. I mean, I could whack at it, but it would just break it. Right? I can't unbuild it. So I'm going to leave the wooden shed here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to leave the wooden shed here. You could leave down a bed and then just build a new bed and move it so that you have a new save point. But if I die, I'd rather not spawn back here. I'd rather spawn closer to my destination. Another thing to note is when you are crouch stealthed, it puts it back in the inventory. Put what back in the inventory? There's not a deconstruct for structures now. Oh, you can unbuild it with Y? Oh, that's cool. Well, I don't want the carry weight either, so I'm going to be on my way. I didn't know that. Alright, level 8, here I come. The structures do weigh a lot, so I try, for the sake of speed, to go less encumbered, if possible, when possible. And it's very, very inexpensive to just throw down another little 2x2. Probably one more kill and I'll hit 8. You're counting my headshots, huh? I'm gonna miss the next, like, 15 now. Alright, talent. Let's get the big 3. Increase woodstone and fiber yield. Cool. Magic Hippie, thanks for the resub, by the way. I appreciate it. Oh, and the gifts. Cheers. Cheers, my friend. This wolf kill is in your honor. Well, this wolf will stop running away from me. Bye-bye, Wolfie. The bone knives are pretty efficient tools as well. There are spears that you can unlock, but I don't find these spears... Oh, another wolf. I don't find spears are necessary to unlock. given the murder efficiency of a bone knife. Might as well just stab it with a knife. Spears are useful maybe when you have like steel ones or whatever, but you can't skin things with spears, so knives serve two purposes. Speaking about service purposes, I am gonna need water and oxygen soon. My water can be somewhat fulfilled by berries, but I need to find some oxide. It's low, but there's a node of oxide right here. No problem. Hey Yoda, there you go, buddy. Yoda has his Christmas sweater. Looks a bit like a cape, though, doesn't it? The green parts of the sweater look a little weird on stream because of the green screen. Oh, the irony of being thirsty in the middle of rain. True, but I have a astronaut's suit on or whatever. I have an exosuit on, so it's not like I can open my mouth or anything like that. With that said, I truly have no idea how this character drinks because, you know, I don't see a hole for it. Oop, that's a miss. I can't even really see the target. Nope, right in the head, though. Hi, Bambi. I'm not going to waste arrow on you. I know, I'm terrible. There's actually, later on in the tech tree, there's a talent that you can get that doubles the amount of yield you get from killing babies. Called, like, cruelty or something like that. It's kind of funny. Heading back to this spawn now. I'll just leave you on for a bit. So the next big level is level 10. Level 10 unlocks a whole new tier of blueprints. And as you can see in the top left, that I have 6 blueprint points that I haven't spent. It's not so much that I'm waiting to hit level 10. It's more that there's nothing that I currently need, so why spend them? Because you can't unspend them, at least not yet. So, save them up. They are finite. Pseudo-finite. The suit has a blender somewhere, you just stick the meat and the water in and... Alright, so now I'm going to be suffering exposure. So if you're out in a storm for too long, you do start to take a little bits of damage. So as you can see at the top bar, once that exposure maxes out, I will take tiny, tiny bits of damage over time. But it's pretty insignificant. So... for minor storms, I don't even bother taking cover, because they don't really hurt you that much. I also have enough bone arrows now that I don't really need to stab the bodies. It's kind of unnecessary. And I know my water is low, but I'm going to get to that next river well before I run out of water. And yeah, I am just slaughtering. How do I like this game? The game is very repetitive, but there's something still fun about it. So I am... Hi, Bambi. Bye, Bambi. I'm very eager for the game to be developed further, to have more variety and have some persistence and just more features. The game is very feature-light, and it's still fun multiplayer, though. That much is true. So, I like it. I don't love it. Not yet. It could be a game that could be loved if it gets more updates. If you have specific questions, like maybe I'll give you what I think the biggest strength is and the biggest weakness. How's that sound? So the biggest strength of this game, I would say, is the game mechanics. You move around, it feels clean, it feels smooth. There's the potential for PvP because of how good the mechanics are. The pacing and everything, it feels real right. The problem is it's very redundant. There's also a talent tree that is absolutely massive. I haven't counted how many there are, but like, look at all the skills that you can get. This is just an absolutely ridiculously huge skill tree, and you only ever get 48 skills total. So there's this massive, massive tree that you can only own a tiny sliver of, which feels bad. The developer did say that they're thinking about doing like respecs, but you know, I don't have more information about that yet because it doesn't exist yet. Cheers. My knife broke. Okay, let's keep heading to the scan. Rabbit Killer, level 1. I also don't need this leather. Ooh, I have a lot of bone, too. Well, I'll pick up 1 stack of this leather. And I just lost pumpkin. They need more talent points? Lots more? Yeah, I agree. We'll see. Like I said, it's a game in progress. It is somewhat lackluster now. Like, it's fun for the first 20, 30 hours, and then you're like, all right, the end. But I am hoping that it gets a little bit more love later on, where it's fun for more than just 20 or 30. But I haven't even shown you any of the higher tech stuff, so hopefully I'll just keep leveling. That's why I'm murdering everything and skinning it, so that I can level up faster. Yeah, it's definitely a game in beta, but it's in early access. So, you know. When I say there's room for improvement, there's also time for improvement. This isn't full release. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 14th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch live streams of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedules and countdown timers for upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you for supporting the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Icarus players.